I am done with my MCAT. I took it today and I'm finished. Y'all can see the excitement, the happiness in my eyes because I'm free. Now, in a few months, if I start talking about, oh, I'm studying for the MCAT again, mind your business. Just mind your business. But for now, I'm done. I'm free. I don't know my score right now, so I'm just going to be blissfully ignorant right now and enjoy this freedom and celebrate. I had to change my location because the gardener decided to start mowing the lawn while I was filming. But as I was saying, I'm going to celebrate, and in celebration of me finishing this exam that I've been studying for since forever, I am going to do a 24-hour read-a-thon. Y'all don't know how much I've been wanting to have the freedom to read as much as I want to throughout the day and not having to limit my time to when I finish studying or when I wake up in the morning, but literally at any time of the day. It's gonna start at 9 p.m. Pacific time, and a couple of my friends are gonna join me, and we're just going to read and be on Zoom and have sprints, and it's gonna be a great time. It's currently 2 p.m. I finished my exam around noon, came back to my grandparents' house and had some lunch and just was relaxing before I filmed this clip. Before the 24-hour readathon begins, I want to try my hardest to finish Strange the Dreamer. This was part of my August TBR. I really want to finish it before this readathon because I want to pick up some other books, but I'm in the middle of this. I'm on page 324, and the book has a little bit over 500 pages total. So since I have all the time in the world, I'm going to try my hardest to finish reading this book by 9 p.m. so that I can start some other books. I don't know exactly what I want to read during this 24-hour readathon yet, but I do know it will either be The Poppy War or Jade City. My mom purchased Jade City for me the other day so that it would be home for me when I finish my exam because she's the sweetest person. So when I go home, that'll be there waiting for me. So it'll be either The Poppy War or Jade City that I pick up once I finish Strange the Dreamer. But yeah, I just wanted to film this little introduction clip before the actual readathon starts. And I will talk to y'all later after I get a little bit more of Strange the Dreamer read. Okay, so it's about 9:15 p.m., which means that the readathon has officially begun. I, of course, did not finish Strange the Dreamer in the time coming up to the start of the readathon because I was distracted by my phone, by watching BookTube, and by watching basketball games. So that still hasn't been read yet. But I think I'm going to start with Jade City for the beginning of this readathon. I'm about to hop on Zoom, do some sprints with some friends, and yeah, it's gonna be a great time. I literally read it 10 pages, aka the first chapter. I was on Zoom with Christine and Jaleesa and Maya, and we did literally one sprint where I read 10 pages, and I'm just exhausted. Like, I literally took an entire MCAT exam this morning, so I think I'm gonna just reward myself by going to sleep and waking up early and continuing to read. I'm failing this 24-hour readathon so far, but tomorrow's gonna be better. I'm gonna wake up with loads of energy and I'll be ready to read. But anyways, the first chapter, chef's kiss. I wanna.
Hey everyone, welcome to the 2022 week shred.
Good morning. It is Friday, September 4th. It's the next morning. It's about 10 a.m. I woke up around 8, worked out, showered, got my coffee, and now I'm ready to read for the whole entire day. Like, that's so exciting. Still have only read one chapter of Jade City last night because I was just very exhausted. But once I get this coffee, this caffeine in my system, I'll be nice and awake and ready to just read nonstop. So I'll update you guys when I have read a bit more of Jade City. Also, for my workout, I'm doing the Chloe Ting 2-week ab shred, or whatever it's called, that 2-week ab challenge. That's her newest program. And y'all, I'm dying. Like, I'm on day 5. I started on Monday and I'm sore. I feel like I'm working out for like 3 hours when I'm really only working out for like 40 or 50 minutes. I love it because I love being sore because that's how you know the workout hit. It did what it's supposed to do. So I love being sore, but I'm still tired. but I also feel really good because I've already worked out and I don't have to worry about that until tomorrow. All right, so it's time for an update. Sorry for this weird angle, but I just don't feel like holding my phone or setting up my tripod, so we're gonna get this weird like computer type angle. I'm on page 48, chapter 6 of Jade City, and y'all, like, Fonda Lee really popped off like right away with the action, with everything. That first chapter was just jam-packed with information and introduction of characters and just action, and I fell in love right away and was immediately interested in what's coming next. I'm enjoying my time. I got a few tabs going on here with just learning about the different characters and their like status in this world, whether they're like Hekanese or if they're a stone eye, or just the different types of status that each of the characters has is really interesting. Yes, I read the smut scene, or at least the first smut scene, and it was spot on. Y'all were not lying when you said that she could write a smut scene, because I was sitting here like, okay. Really enjoying this so far. Wanted to pop in and give my little first update so far, and I hope to read more, because I mean I have been reading for a bit and I'm only on page 48. It's kind of taking me a while to read this book because I don't have the audiobook, and I always read slower when I don't have the audiobook. That's okay because I'm enjoying my experience reading it physically. Y'all aren't gonna believe it. My brother went to go check the mail and he said that I had a package, and I was like, okay. I was expecting a book that I won in a giveaway, so I was like, okay, it's probably that book. But it wasn't, y'all. It was The Burning God, like an unsolicited arc from HarperCollins, my very first one. Like, I literally was screaming and my brother was like, what's wrong? Like, calm down. And I was like, I literally cannot. I requested it on NetGalley and got declined. Now I have the physical arc. Like, what? Yeah, I really need to read The Poppy War. Like, that's definitely going to be next after Jade City. Just so happy. But yeah, okay, I'll update you guys later. Morning, hello, it's the next morning and I have made a decision. I am going to extend my 24-hour read-a-thon into a Jade City reading vlog because I only made it to page 129 last night, and that was after the 9 p.m. stop time. So I was like, let me just finish reading this book for the vlog, extend it, make it a Jade City reading vlog. No spoilers, of course. But that's because the 24-hour readathon would have been a bit bland. It would have been a bit boring because I barely had any updates because I've only made it to page 100. So I'm excited for it. I hope to finish it by the end of the weekend. So it's Saturday now, Saturday morning, about 9 a.m. on Saturday morning. And so I'm gonna read a bunch today and I'm gonna read a bunch tomorrow, and I'm hopefully gonna finish it by Sunday because next week I would like to pick up a couple of other books. So I'm firstly going to do my hair because I'm looking a whole mess and it's time for wash day. But just wanted to stop by and give some updates on what I think about Jade City thus far in these first 100 or so pages. I am in love with the story so far, which I am not surprised about given just the hype around this book. I'm really enjoying the world building that Fonda Lee has created for this world. All the politics that are involved with the green bone and like the rules behind the jade and who can use jade, who can't use jade. The Hekanese people, of course, want to protect jade from foreigners. The hierarchy within the different clans is very interesting. You have the pillar at the very top of the leadership for each clan, and then underneath you have the horn and the weatherman. I love Hilo's character. He's very aggressive. He's very strong-willed. He knows what he wants. He knows how he wants to run his streets. He's the horn of the No Peak clan, which is the second in command to the pillar. So he has a lot of power. He has a lot of respect in Kekon. And then you have Andon, who is the adoptive cousin of the Call family. Like, his family history is very sad. There are trigger warnings of self-harm involved with his family history, but he's such a sweet boy, and Andon's and Hilo's relationship is like perfection. It's so cute. The cousins, they care about each other so much and they look out for each other. But yeah, I guess right now we are still in the introduction of characters portion of the book, which I'm not minding. I tend to be a plot person more than a character person, but I'm aware that this is a trilogy, so there are 3 books and there's a bunch of characters that have been introduced so far. And so I understand that we need that time in the beginning of the first book to get introduced to these characters and know who we're going to be spending 3 books of time with. So I don't mind it, and I'm enjoying all the characters so far. I'm gonna keep reading today, but first I'm gonna go wash my hair and to get that out the way so that I could just spend the rest of the day reading. Hello, it's the next day. It's about 5 p.m. on Sunday, and I am almost done with Jade City. I've just filmed my August wrap up, so that should be released before you see this video. So if you haven't watched that video, please go check it out and hear about the books that I read in the month of August. I'm on page, I think, 314 of Jade City, so I'm getting close to the end. And I'm very excited. I plan on finishing it tonight, hopefully, just like my original plan was to finish it today by Sunday because I have other books I need to start tomorrow. Y'all, Lon, if you've read Jade City and you know the scene that I'm referring to right now, like, just know that I'm going through it right now. Like, I read the scene, I immediately closed my book, and I went to In-N-Out so I could eat away my feelings. I'm scared now to continue to read because I'm just like, what else is Fonda Lee gonna do to my heart? Because so far we was on a good note, like nothing really was happening. We was getting to know all the characters, introduced to everybody, and it was a good time. I was enjoying the politics, the family relations, all the good stuff that I mentioned in my previous update, and then bam, she hits you. And you're just like, girl, you didn't give us no warning, no nothing. You just hit us with guns blazing, you know? So I think I'm gonna order Jade War, like right now, or at least when I finish this book. I think Jade War is being bought. It might be read this month too, even though it's not on my TBR, but it might be read because I need to know what happens to these characters. Hello, it is Tuesday, September 8th, and last night I did it. I finished Jade City, and so I wanted to come here this morning to give my final thoughts and wrap this vlog up. Of course, I loved this book so much. It lived up to the hype for sure. This is a 5 out of 5 stars. I would give it more stars if I could. I can't think of anything more that I would want in a fantasy book, and especially in an adult fantasy. I wanted to start reading some adult fantasy, and I'm happy that this is one of the first ones that I'm reading because wow, if this is what I can expect in adult fantasy, then I'm here for it. So I think the last update I gave was after the lawn scene, and I am still not over that scene, but really everything picked up after that. The clan war storyline picked up after that. The plot just in general picked up. At that point, we had met all the characters that we needed to meet. The stakes were high. The excitement was real for me, and I just wanted to continue to read to see how this book was going to end. And trust me, that ending was not what I expected at all. I literally need to buy Jade War as soon as possible and fit it into my TBR soon because I need to know what happens to these characters. And I'm really not that much of a character-driven person, but in Jade City, I really love these characters. I wish they were real. I mean, I wouldn't want to be involved in a clan war, but I would like to meet these characters and befriend them. Like, you know, we could be Facebook friends at least. Since this is a non-spoiler vlog, I can't really talk on too much about why I enjoyed this book without giving away some of the big parts of the story. Fonda Lee is a master at creating a world. The world building was very well thought out. Politics seemed really real. It could really be a real world, you know? So I think that just goes to show how well Fonda Lee did in the world building. She knows how to get you attached to these characters, because even for me, like I said, I'm not usually a character type person, but I love these characters with my whole heart, and they need to be protected at all costs. But overall, the hype of this book lived true, and I had an amazing time reading this. This is the first book I completed in September. The prompt for read a book with POC representation for a Bookoplathon I have completed, as Jade City was that for me, so I'm very happy. One down. 5 more to go, 5 more books to go for Bookoplathon, which I think is doable given that I finished a book within the first week of September, and I wasn't even really reading until like the 3rd or 4th day. So I feel like if I keep going at this pace, I'll finish all the books in my TBR this month, which is quite new for me. But that's all that I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this reading vlog. I hope that I have convinced you to read Jade City if you haven't already. Please give this video a big like, comment down below, subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!